These hidden treasures were lost a very long time ago and have still yet to be found. I hope you all enjoyed today's video on the top 5 hidden treasures. In 1816, a man called Thomas Vilas discovered a large amount of gold while mining in the Rocky Mountains. Worth an estimated $63 million in today's money, Thomas wanted to make sure his children would inherit the fortune when he soon died. However, his children were across the country at the time, so Thomas devised a plan to ensure his children would actually get their inheritance. He buried the treasure and wrote 3 cipher codes with the location of the burial spot. He gave the ciphers to an innkeeper friend of his and instructed that innkeeper to give the ciphers to his children when they came back to town. But unfortunately, the innkeeper betrayed him and tried to take the treasure for himself. But he failed to decipher the codes, perhaps because they contained information that only his children would understand. Thomas Vilas' hidden treasure has still not been found. For number 4, let's take a look at Colonel John Singleton's lost treasure. Confederate Commander Colonel John Singleton was a man with few morals. Throughout the Civil War, he and his men would raid and steal countless valuables. The largest raid took place towards the end of the war, south of the Confederate front line in Virginia. John Singleton actually captured the Union general, Edwin Singleton, and stole his burlap sack containing gold and silver. Colonel Singleton then proceeded back down south, but unexpectedly ran into a large army of Union soldiers. But thinking fast, he buried the treasure between 2 large pine trees and marked them with a knife. Many of the colonel's men were later caught and hanged, and the knowledge of the treasure's exact whereabouts were lost. So, somewhere in Virginia, there's a buried treasure sack still waiting to be found. Butch Cassidy was one of the most infamous outlaws in the Wild West, but many people don't know about his hidden treasure. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Butch Cassidy and his gang robbed countless banks, trains, and valuables. The outlaws built a massive fortune over time and buried a large portion of it somewhere in the Irish Canyon, Colorado. The treasure has still not been found, despite the efforts of many treasure explorers. Irish Canyon is a very vast place, so no one is going to find it anytime soon. But maybe one day a lucky treasure explorer will hit the motherlode. In 1622, around $700 million worth of gold was lost off the coast of Key West, Florida. The Spanish galleon Nuestra Señora de Atocha was voyaging back to Spain with a massive haul of gold and silver treasure, but unfortunately they were caught in a large hurricane, which sank the galleon and several other ships in the fleet. The valuables were spread all over the sea floor, with the vast majority of it located in the sunken vessel itself. In 1985, treasure explorer Mel Fisher found around $500 million worth of the treasure. But don't get discouraged, there's still around $200 million worth of gold yet to be found. You see, the captain's manifest accounts for 17 tons of silver bars, 828,000 gold coins, 27 kilos of emeralds, and 38 boxes of gold. But only around 70% was recovered by Mel Fisher, so there's still a lot yet to be found. The largest amount of treasure still yet to be found is the treasure of San Miguel. Spain has a really bad history with hurricanes. In the year 1712, Spain assembled a massive treasure fleet consisting of 11 ships, all filled to the brink with gold, silver, pearls, and valuable jewels. They wanted to transfer the treasure from Cuba back to the mainland. Spanish leaders were worried about pirates potentially stealing the treasure on their voyage, so they decided to set sail just before hurricane season hit, thinking the hurricane season would actually deter pirates and thieves. That ended up being a really bad idea, because shortly after setting sail, they got hit by a massive hurricane. All 11 ships and around $2 billion worth of treasure sunk off the coast of Florida. Every once in a while, a lucky explorer finds a piece of the lost treasure, but the vast majority of it is still at the bottom of the ocean, waiting to be found. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to check out some of my previous uploads, and in the meantime, subscribe for more.